Alright, man, we back at it again with another Saints Row video, you feel me? This ain't gonna be no, like, you know what I'm saying, like, no deep, in-depth video, but this gonna be a video that I personally want to talk about. I want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, just my point of view in the growth between, you know what I'm saying, Playa that I loved it, and how Playa's story, like, the storyline overall with just Playa himself, represents what real gangsters go through in real life. You know what I'm saying? It represents it so well. And this is why I always love the Saints Row 1 and 2. It represents the gangster, the stuff that gangsters go through so well. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be talking about why I see my point of view overall with Playa, right? Now, let's talk about Saints Row 1, right? Now, Saints Row 1, in my eyes, Playa is 16. I always say this. It fits the most. In Saints Row 1, I like to make my character look young. You know what I'm saying? I always love to add an extra little dab of realism to every, like, any playthrough I do. So, like, I might make my character look, like, not so, like, you know, but I just make him look young, you know what I'm saying? So I say he's 16. A lot of gangsters in real life jump in the streets at young ages, or just, you know, from what Playa went through, as you can clearly see in Saints Row 1, because of poverty, not having much money. He looked, you know, I'm pretty sure he was poor in Saints Row 1, so he jumped into the only thing that really could help him, you know, and he looked up to Julius and stuff, right? Now, you know what I'm saying, what I loved about, you know, Playa in Saints Row 1 is that he's young, and, you know, like I said, he's not too good at what he do. And, you know, if you look at him, I mean, yeah, I know he took down a lot of gangs in Saints Row 1, but overall, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, just overall, Saints Row 1 Playa, like him being younger in Saints Row 1, it just represents, you know what I'm saying, a lot of just, you know, being young and going through the street life, seeing the first person that, you know, seeing somebody that, you know, you was cool with die in front of you. I mean, it represents, Saints Row 1 represents what a young kid in the street life goes through. You know what I'm saying? You know, all that, right? Getting into shootouts, getting influenced about what's around them, and it represented it so fucking well. You know what I'm saying? And I loved it for that. Now moving on with Saints Row 2. Now, Saints Row 2 also represents what a gangster goes through, right? Now, we know, you know what I'm saying, Playa was in a coma for 5 years. I won't say, like, you know what I'm saying, like coma-wise, but we know gangsters, you know, all the time could be locked up for 5 years and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, all the time, right? But instead, but you know, in Saints Row 1, I mean, in Saints Row 2, he was in a coma. But it's still, I still looked at it in that type of way, right? So, Playa, all the time, even in real life, gangsters then, you know what I'm saying, did time, get out, a lot of stuff has changed. As you're playing the game in Saints Row, you know what I'm saying, too, you see a lot of stuff has changed about the city. You know, a lot of stuff has turned around. The city looks totally different from how it used to be in Saints Row 1, right? And what we also see a lot in real life is, you know, gangs, as gangsters get older, they get better at what they do. They get more skilled with what they do, and they grow from it. And sometimes gangsters, as they get older, they take a more colder approach to things, or they can grow and become a better person. But a lot of people grow, and sometimes, like, some gangsters grow and become worse people, right? And Saints Row 2 represents that well, too. You can definitely see it's a drastic change in Playa in Saints Row 2. I mean, Saints Row 2 represents a colder side of Playa. He's way more colder, way more better at what he does and all that. Not only him, but Johnny Gat. Johnny Gat takes a colder approach, and he's better at what he do. You know what I'm saying? I loved it, the realistic growth that Saints Row 1 and 2 had with Johnny Gat and Playa just as gangsters. You know what I'm saying? They grew, they became better at what they did, you know what I'm saying? Just was out skilled. You know, they skilled themselves out and became better. You know, better at finding all that. I loved it, the growth. You know what I'm saying? I loved it, the growth between you know what I'm saying, just the growth between 1 and 2. It really represented, we seen more tragic events happening in gang life. You know, in street life, you're going to lose more people you're close to. It always happens, you know, in real life all the time. So we seen that Playa lost more people he was close to in Saints Row 2. He got better at what he did, but that doesn't mean it's going to stop friends and people he cared about from dying, right? And I loved it that Saints Row, Playa, my point of view, and I say, you know, Playa in, 5 years past, so Playa in his 20s, you know what I'm saying? And it represented it so well. Saints Row 2 also represents the change of a gangster as they grow, their growth. You know what I'm saying? Right? Now let's talk about Saints Row 3. Now, you know, if y'all niggas subscribe to me, y'all know my videos what I be making. Y'all know I'm not a big fan of Saints Row 3. But I will say this. Saints Row 3, I do feel like they toned the boss down too much. But if I'm looking at it from like a more positive point of view, you know, as gangsters does get older, once you reach a certain age, I know Playa, you know what I'm saying, but I consider like Playa in Saints Row 3 in my eyes, he's in his 30s. He's in his 30s. So, you know what I'm saying, in Saints Row, you know what I'm saying, 3, Playa, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, I feel like he toned down, and you know, overall, like I won't say like, yeah, he's still doing fucked up shit throughout the game. You know what I'm saying? I won't say it's dark or like it's nothing serious, but he's still, you know what I'm saying, not really that good of a person. But I feel like the way he just reacted towards things more in Saints Row 3 kind of showed a lighter side to him compared to Saints Row 2. So it kind of shows, you know, as people get older, you know, they grow and they change more and more. And I liked it, the growth of it overall. You know, and like I've been saying, Saints Row 1 and 2, at least 1 and 2 mostly, they made you feel like a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Even Saints Row 2 made Playa have so much ambition to go up against guys like Mero. These niggas cut up, big muscles and all that. I mean, he had so much ambition. He was just so strong on bringing the Saints back. It really made you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you was that nigga. Saints Row 1 and 2 made you feel like you was that nigga. Two was the most that made you feel like you was that nigga though, cause 2 had you standing up to some really strong, powerful people. I'm saying Saints Row 2 had the player be fearless. You know what I'm saying? And real gangsters like that too all the time in real life also. They're fearless and they'll go against anybody. They don't fear nobody. And that's what Saints Row 2 also does. It makes Playa show he don't have no fear of nobody. He don't fear nothing. Especially from all the events he's been in through the past games back in Saints Row 1. So he don't fear nothing. He's went through bad, hard times already. So you know, in Saints Row 2, after doing, like, you know what I'm saying, being in a car for 5 years, getting back up, a lot of stuff changed around you, which I found totally accurate to a lot of gangsters, you know, being in jail for a long time, stuff changed around him, right? You know, he's better at what he does and all that. You know, he's the best. He done got, you know, better at it. You know, not the best, I won't say the best, but he, you know, got somewhat better at it. We see mistakes still happen. He done got caught lacking in Saints Row 2 and got knocked out. I love the Saints Row 2. Like I said, Saints Row 2 was the last game that made the character still feel human. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that was just overall my point of view and the growth I admire and I love so much about Playa through, you know what I'm saying, Saints Row 1 and 2, and a little bit of 3 mostly. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. You know what I'm saying? What was the growth y'all liked between Playa throughout the games? But yeah, that's the growth I loved it, you know. But yeah, I'm out.